Syrah and Syrah here at Larner?
So Syrah here at Larner is really kind of, it's not that complex, but there's some very interesting nuances to it. And part of that is driven by how the vineyard is structured. We have 23 acres of Syrah, but we actually have 11 blocks of Syrah, so they're all about 2-acre sets. And what that variation is between clone and rootstock. And so that allows us to get a good expression of Syrah from multiple, multiple clones and rootstock, and allows the vintage to sort of put a fingerprint a little bit more on the style and what I hopefully think is the ultimate expression of Syrah from Ballard Canyon, because every year you'll see one clone or one rootstock slightly be different. And so the way we look at it here at Larner is really that it's a combination of all of those that makes the basis of our wine, because each one of them contributes what something else may be lacking. So to give you an example, my Estate Syrah is actually 4 different clones. It's 877, Estrella, 174, and Clone 3. Each one of those makes a standalone Syrah. It can be a standalone Syrah. In fact, our dedication wine is a standalone Clone 3. But the three in conjunction with 877, those two bring in more full body. The Estrella adds in more velvet and softness. The 174 adds a little more mid-palate. So the 4 of those playing together really build a wine that is a complete Syrah in the whole picture, but they all come from the same estate, and they all come from Larner Vineyard. So at the end of the day, it showcases what we do best, which is Syrah grown in Ballard Canyon, especially on the southern side of Ballard Canyon, where it's slightly cooler. And so really kind of, I think it pulls together an ultimate expression. And so from every year, we can be consistent, and we can show that the vineyard and the vintage have been sort of homogenized enough that you can get the same consistent quality in that Syrah every year.
Gotcha. Because of the way the blend is going together. So
Exactly.
You can take all of your different clones,
yeah,
and mix them in different ways so that you get something that's a little.
And that's what's funny. We're talking about a blend, but it's a
Right.
mono-varietal wine.
Yeah.
But it's a blend of blocks. It's a blend of clones, a blend of rootstocks. So it still makes a Syrah, and it's a premium expression of Syrah in my book. But the fact that it comes from those multiple blocks, each one of them is adding a little piece of nuance. So it's not to say that that block couldn't do it on its own. We let every fermenter in my winemaking styles, every time I pick a grape and put it in the winery, to me, I'm thinking this is a reserve wine, and it has to prove itself. It's sort of like, let's see how well we can make this, and then we have to at some point say, okay, did it meet our expectations? And if it does, did it exceed our expectations? And so that's when we have these wonderful reserve and dedication and these kind of things. So for me, it's if every clone and every block could be a standalone wine, we would try to make it, but at the same time we don't have to. Yeah. Because I also want to bring them together so that you make a very complete wine that it fires all the synapses when you're trying it and when you're aging it and and you're tasting it. And that to me is more important, because I've tried wines that are mono clone, mono block, and they have great expressions of one thing or two things, but then you're like, well, where's this? Where's that? And I want the full picture, so that way somebody who's looking for mid-palate strength in a wine will find it. That way somebody looking for tannin will find it, so you can please many palates.